I want to ask you, border crossings, they're at a 25-year low.
They are. It's fantastic.
There are 6,000 U.S. military personnel working at the border now. That number could go up to 9,000 by the end of the month. How long do you have to keep them there if the numbers are already dropping like this?
You know, we'll continue the partnership.
Yo, this CBS host just got cooked by Kristi Noem, who is the Secretary of the Department of Homeland Security under Donald Trump. She got cooked so bad in the kindest way possible. You know, I was saying the other day how I'm so frustrated with politicians and how they behave. Nowadays, it's all about their side of winning. It's all about, you know, Democrat versus Republican instead of like prioritizing American people and making sure that we're safe, making sure that we're like living good, thriving lives. And this is a beautiful display of hopefully trajectory change from politicians to begin with. She went on the show and she was delivering facts on facts on facts, which is everything we wanted to see. It's what we voted for. But before we get into that, I want to remind you guys to subscribe to RTM News because it ensures YouTube that you're enjoying our videos. And in turn, they will continually show up in your feed and they'll push it out to more people. I'm Titus. Let's get into this video.
I want to ask you, border crossings, they're at a 25-year low.
They are. It's fantastic.
There are 6,000 U.S. military personnel working at the border now. That number could go up to 9,000 by the end of the month. How long do you have to keep them there if the numbers are already dropping like this?
You know, we'll continue the partnership with the Department of Defense, but also we've got partnerships with Commerce, with the Attorney General's office. You know, we're working every day with the Secretary of State. We'll keep them there until that border is completely secure, and we see all-time record lows of encounters. Our Border Patrol is doing fantastic work, but we're going to keep them there till the whole world gets the message that this isn't Joe Biden's world anymore. This is President Donald Trump's country where we have a border, where we have laws, and it applies equally to everybody. I think that is what is so refreshing, is that we're not picking and choosing winners and losers anymore. Americans have to live by the law. So do those who come to this country. You have to come here legally or there will be consequences.
And nothing about that should be seen as controversial. Nothing about that should be seen as controversial. Obviously, if you're not here legally, you should not be able to be here. And everything that they're doing is, and she said, now that like the numbers are down, you know, things are so low, do you still need to be, yes. Until every single person who came here illegally, until every person that crossed the border illegally and is committing heinous crimes on top of the one of crossing the border, yes, we need to keep doing what we're doing, and it's great what's being done. And I'm just so excited that her demeanor is so poised and just relaying the facts to this person who's clearly agitated and frustrated that this is happening to begin with, which makes absolutely no sense. We should all be jumping for joy that our country is being safer day by day. But this is the first of a few clips I'm going to show you, and this woman, she's not like crazy, but it's just like, come on. This is a good thing that's happening, so let's check it out.
That we have, and even everywhere I've been in this country out there, looking at what President Trump has done on immigration and border enforcement, the people that I meet are saying thank you. Thank you for getting these terrorists out of the country. He has deported in just 1 month.
Have you deported
22
terrorists?
known and terrorists on the terrorist watch list are out of this country now. We have almost 700 gang members that have been deported out of the country in just a month, and
which have been redefined as foreign terrorist organizations.
Well,
by the
281 specific.
The fact that they're redefined, these criminals, you guys are letting willy-nilly in our country that the Biden administration did. The borders are Kamala Harris allowed in here. Yes, it's been redefined as terrorists. They are terrorists. They're displaying terrible acts on people, on our own American citizens. They're taking over apartment complexes. They're doing all these terrible things. And all you want to talk about is the definition change. And not jumping for joy that these changes are being made. Americans are being safe or being put in a position by this administration to be safe going forward. It's absolutely insane. And the mental gymnastics, the wordplay that they use to just try and nullify the good that's being done here.
Specific TDA members, which we know are the worst of the worst, have been taken out of this country. So everyone that has a story like Laken Riley's family or Jocelyn's family, they're extremely grateful that won't be perpetuated amongst other families in other states.
Doesn't like that. But honestly, Laken Riley, that story, what happened there is one of the main reasons why people voted for Trump. No one wants that to happen to their loved one. No one wants to see that happening to anyone. I mean, if you actually care about people, you don't want to see people put in a position where that could have been prevented, because that could have been prevented. Obviously, there's people in our country that do criminal acts, but that one would not have happened if our border was secure and we didn't have all these illegal aliens coming in here undocumented. We can't trace them, can't find them because they're not documented, and we don't know who they are, even if we do have like a picture or video of them. So it's just like, it was a good thing. It's a great thing that they're cracking down on immigration. We should be so happy about it. And yet she just wants to point and nitpick the dumbest things ever. We have one more clip we're going to show you guys.
The administration has revived this policy of detaining migrant families, parents with children, in ICE detention centers. Bush did it, Obama did it, Biden did not. Have you seen these Texas facilities where children are being held with their parents? Are you comfortable with it personally?
Why do they always do that? Why do they always do that? These people are not here legally. These people are not here legally. If you bring your child over here illegally and they have to be put and detained because of your actions, that's on you. That is not on ICE. That is not on America. We should not feel bad about it. You can have empathy and be like, man, that sucks that this kid is in this position that his parent or her parent put them in. It is very unfortunate this child has to deal with the consequences that of their parents' actions. We should not be trying to emotionalize the situation and try and vilify people that are doing their jobs and people that are keeping you safe. It's so disingenuous. I can't stand this narrative that the media has been spewing for years. And obviously it's not working anymore. Like, we see what's happened. We see this is what people voted for. People are very grateful for these actions that are being displayed by the Trump administration, and we hope they keep doing it going forward. So find a new thing to talk about. Let's find some new. Let's conjure up some new talking points on the left. Because, oh my gosh, this regurgitating the stuff that made you lose is just like, it's old. It's over with. It's done.
We've got detention facilities across the country, and there's specific ones that are built specifically for families if they are detained. But remember, everybody has an option. They have an option to be here legally or illegally, and they can self-deport as well. We've set up a system and a website where people who are here illegally right now can register, and they can choose to go home on their own and keep their families united. Well, the kids do have a choice. If they have parents, they make a choice to keep their families together if they want to, or not. If parents make a decision to leave their children behind, then that's a choice that they made as a family. And we need to remember that when Americans break the law and they have consequences or face a situation, they're separated from their families too. I don't believe we should prioritize people from other countries above Americans.
And there we have it. I don't ever want to hear that argument ever again. You're taking away children from their parents. You're separating families. Happens all the time. Happens all the time. Let's talk about how these government programs are like incentivizing women to be single so that they can be single mothers, living off the government. That's one way of taking fathers away from their families. It's not the exact same thing, but like she just said, if someone does a criminal act, if a father or husband does a criminal act that lands him in jail for 5, 10, 20 years life, they're being separated by their government from their family. But you don't see anybody getting mad about that. You don't see anybody like throwing tantrums, protesting outside of prison, saying, "Oh my gosh, how wrong that you are allowing this man to be separated from his family. You are forcing this man to be separated from his family, even though he did a crime." Like, doesn't make sense. Make it make sense. It doesn't, but you can try.
But when it comes to reviving the policy of separating families from their children at the border,
we're actually reviving it.
That's what I want to ask.
President Biden didn't follow the law. He didn't follow the law in the fact that it's always been equally applied until his administration. And then he made decisions to ignore federal law in how he handled immigration and enforcement within our borders. And
she was not ready for that. She thought something else was going to happen. She's like, we're not reviving it. She's like, that's what I wanted to know. She was like, oh, thank God. She's like, Biden, it's not, we're reviving it. Biden stopped doing it. We're just doing what the law is. We're just following the law as we should. She did not like that. She was so ready for her to hop on the train with her, but she didn't. That was great. And honestly, this is how every single politician needs to be when they're communicating with the press, when they're communicating with people. Just be calm, cool, collected. Deliver the facts. Deliver like the evidence that proves whatever it is that you are doing is right or whatever. Instead of sitting there and playing these screaming matches, these gotcha moments, like we don't need that. We just need this. We need the Kristi Noem. She delivered every answer perfectly, and this is what I want to see going forward with politicians, because I'm so sick of them. And if they end up being more like this, then maybe I'll tolerate them more and give them more praise. So shout out to Kristi Noem. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to comment down your thoughts below. Want to know what you guys are thinking. I'll see you on the next one. Peace.